A, thinker, B, evil,
She just asked me a question and then it was.
Which one does it fit? Which one does it fit?
It's
D.
That's not right.
That's why it's worded like that.
It's like this beautiful curl, right?
No, it's straight, isn't it?
Yeah. Straight. Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, it's when they take crazy hair and then like make it
They make it straight.
It's like hair.
Yes.
Water.
Good, thank you.
Yes, that's what I think.
Okay, I've seen that bottom one.
Which one?
I've seen that bottom one. He might know that one. My husband probably would.
Okay.
Up or down?
Which of these brushes
I know, right?
would a woman use?
Up for a minute.
Lights off.
Yeah, we didn't look at the.
You got it well. You got it.
Now, get it.
Yeah.
What was the rating?
The first one from the left.
Actually, without it, powder.
Yeah. The one she said powder. Austin went out against the back one.
Yeah. I think she did.
I get my nails like that.
You know that?
I did,
Yes,
actually.
Austin goes crazy. He'll come into my bathroom and be like, I don't even know his word for makeup.
Yeah, you drove me home that night.
When that song, when I first heard that song, I
So it's really time. Yeah. All right, so thank you guys for coming. It's been super fun. We did this last year, and it was one of the favorite things I did the whole year. So I wanted to have you guys over to my home and just celebrate with you and get to know you more and connect with you better. And excuse my phone. But one of the things that's different this year is that last year, I stood here and talked to everybody, and I showed everybody my vision board, and we all set goals together. And I still have your goals that are on those little pieces of paper in my office, and they're in a this vase thing, and they're by my prayer journal and my vision board from last year. And every day when I go in my office to start my day, I pray over that vase of goals that you guys set. And when I stood up here last year and talked to you guys, some of you were here, some of you weren't. I was so frustrated with myself and so disappointed in how my year went. And I felt like you guys deserved a better leader. And I felt like I had let you down because I had let myself down. And some of you weren't even here then at that point. You joined our team since then, but some of you were here. And we had a good time connecting together. But this year has been completely different. And so right now I just want to celebrate with all of you this year because it's been incredible. And not for me, but for us as a team and for so many people individually. Renee, how many certifications did you go to this year for fitness? Just 2. Just 2. That's amazing. What were size and height? Yeah. And did you ever picture yourself doing anything with fitness? Ever?
Well, no, but I still teach so much.
No, but it doesn't matter. But you did it. But you did it. I mean, I have 2 certifications, 3, and I don't use them right now either. But I did it, and you did it. You know.
College degree.
Hey, I use that college degree every time I open my mouth.
You do very
See, knuckles. Yes. Me too. So I mean, just by a show of hands, who did something this year that they're proud of, fitness related or not? I mean, raise your hand, Wes. Everybody should raise their hand. And what I realized this year is that a year ago I was frustrated because I didn't hit a goal that I set for myself. But what I failed to recognize was that progress is work towards a goal. Whether you met the goal or not, you took a step towards it, and that in itself is worth celebrating. So this year, I hit the goal that I set for myself last year. So it'd be really easy to say, well, yeah, I hit it, but it's a year too late, right? And I could be hard on myself, and I could downplay what we've done as a team, saying, well, we were supposed to do this last year. But I firmly believe God's hand is on everything, and we work according to His time frame, not our own. And how many of us have been impatient and wanted to rush something that He said, no, I have purpose in His plan. And some things take longer than you would like because it's not your way, it's my way. And my way is not your way. So the last few days realizing, and I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but we have locked in Elite for our team, which is something only 0.01% of coaches in our network accomplish. And that is not a Miranda accomplishment, because I could not do that if it were not for you guys. Hitting diamond and holding it for my diamond coaches, those of you who simply process a Shakeology order every single month contribute volume to our team, and Beachbody counts that for points to determine who's an elite coach and who isn't. So it doesn't matter how small or how large you feel like your contribution was, it took all of us to do that, every single person. Even if you had a period of coaching where you were on a high and things were going really, really well, or if you maybe took a dive because life dealt you a hand that you didn't ask for, and you hit a slump like all of us do. Maybe you had goals individually that you feel like you didn't meet, or maybe you exceeded them. It doesn't matter, because all of us working together and moving together created something huge. So I wanted to just kind of share with you guys what's been on my heart this year. Not only are we an elite team, but we have grown leaps and bounds. Our numbers are through the roof. I went in yesterday was Thursday, and was looking at our volume, and this month alone, we are up 10,000 volume points from last month. And I forget that you guys can't see that. And so, Renee, you signed a new coach yesterday at the 11th hour, right? And had to call in and get the Success Club points transferred because it was like 5 seconds past midnight. That matters. That contributes. You guys who are still working on developing your business and you're consistent with your Shakeology, you may feel like, I'm not doing anything to contribute right now. You are. It matters, because all of it together accumulates into something that I see from my end. What was 18,000 team volume points in November was 28,000 in December. Wow. And it matters. That one person you right, and you think, oh, I only got one Success Club point this month because I just got one person on Shakeology. It matters to that person, and it matters to our team. So don't think for a second that because you haven't hit your big goal, or you're not, 12-star diamond yet, and you haven't paid off your mortgage and you're not debt-free, then what you're doing doesn't matter. Because it does. Every single day, every single person that you help, every time you post on social media that thing you're scared to post, it matters. It matters to me, it matters to our team, it matters to the people that are in your circle. Agreed? Mm-hmm. Deal? All right, so there's a few things that over the past few days I kept making notes, and this is what I was doing in my bathroom earlier when I was taking forever to come out. Jessica and Josh got here earlier today. No, I was sitting down with a piece of paper and trying to pour out what was on my heart. So here's the things that have mattered to me this year, that have mattered to me the last few years, that I want to share with you, that I think will matter. The first thing is to circle up. And one of the things that I realized is, what we do as Beachbody coaches is constantly try to widen our circle, right? We're constantly trying to reach more people, find more people on social media, more people in life who we can inspire and motivate and equip and empower. We're constantly trying to broaden that circle. But what can happen when you are pursuing that reach, that ripple effect, is that your inner circle becomes too big also. And you'll find people in your life that doubt you, that hate on you, that tell you, are you sure? That cause you to hesitate, that cause you to question yourself. And what's so important, I figured out, is that as you widen that circle and you cast that net far and wide, to try to reach people with the calling you have on your life, it's more important to have a close inner circle like this of people who get you, who cheer you on, who support you, who understand you, who have the same calling that you have. And it's even more important to filter out those people who are not in your inner circle, who don't understand what you're doing. So this right here is everything. So the wider your circle gets, the narrower your inner circle needs to be. And that's something I've learned the hard way. All right, second thing is multiplication versus addition. So one of the things that's been really weighing heavily on me, because last year I ended the year so disappointed in myself. for failing our team, for failing my family. The financial goals I had set, the things that I told my children I would do, I didn't meet those. I struggled all last year. So if your 2015 isn't what you wanted it to be, if you started out last January with these big, audacious goals and somehow they didn't come to pass, whether it was because something unexpected happened or because your actions did not match your goals, which was true for me last year, it's over. It's done. You know, it's in the past. It doesn't matter anymore. Did you learn from it? Did you grow from it? Are you better now than you were a year ago today? For sure. Because struggles create change. And change is always good because it makes us better. So when we talk about multiplication versus addition, you have to get to that point in your business and in your life when you stop trying to do it all in your own power. Life is not a journey that's supposed to be selfish and self-centered. It's supposed to be you as an instrument for God to use in a way that brings him glory. You're just a person that willingly surrenders and says, okay, I'm limited, I'm weak, I'm flawed, I don't know anything, and yet I'm humble and I'm willing to be used. And the thing that I found, and as I was, I don't know if you guys saw my post in Teen Freshman Fit the Family, but I went through each one of my diamond coaches and I described you guys. And out of all of my diamond coaches, Brandy's the only one I actively sought after and recruited. The moment I signed up as a coach in June of 2011, Brandy Trammell was the first person I thought of because she was who I learned from about nutrition. She had this blog, she had this huge following, and I was like, not only do I want her on my team, I need her because she knows more than I do when it comes to nutrition and fitness. She was teaching classes at LA Fitness in Cedarville, and she knew more about nutrition than I could ever fathom, and I wanted her by my side because I needed her. She's the only one of my diamond coaches I recruited. Only one. You know, Jessica came to me. She came to me and said...
You told me no.
And I told her no at the time. Yeah. I told her, you're not ready. She just had hip surgery. I said, you can't work out right now. You're still in physical therapy. When you're done and released by your doctor, get back with me. She came to me wanting to lose weight, and I offered her the free coach upgrade. She didn't even know about Shakeology. She didn't know anything. And I honestly, here was a woman I hadn't talked to in 20 years. We're family. We hadn't talked in 20 years. She came to me with major hip surgery. She was a smoker. She had a long list of issues and excuses that I didn't even know about when we first started talking. That slowly but surely it started coming out. I didn't know she was going to be a diamond coach. I had no clue. And I didn't recruit her. I didn't go find her. Renee came to me by default. She signed up with a coach who was under me who quit. And Renee bumped up to me, and I had no clue that she was going to be rock solid diamond coach, bring her husband on board, and have an amazing, incredible team full of people that get her, they get her vision for life and what she's doing. Jennifer Allen, strong coach on my team, came to me by referral. I had a coach who was not working the business, who knew Jennifer. Jennifer was started asking about T25. My coach said, you need to hook up with Miranda. She'll help you. Jennifer and I did not know each other through Adam. And she's a lifetime one-star. She's diamond right now. That has some amazing leaders coming up on me. I didn't go recruit her. That's not the addition business that I started practicing when I signed up to be a coach, where I thought, I've got to go sell, I've got to go find somebody, I've got to reach somebody. They came to me. She appeared in my life. She appeared in my life. Jennifer appeared in my life. Amy Hoffman, incredible woman. I talked to her yesterday. This girl there's not even a word. She's tenacious. She has heart. She's a fighter. She came to me because of a friend who knew someone from Texas Tech, where I had a relative. Social media. She came to me and said, I want to do your free 3-week challenge. When we finished that, I want to do the 3-day refresh. I want to sign up as a coach because it makes good financial sense to save money on Shakeology. 3 months later, she said, what's this coaching thing? What is that? Can you tell me more? Diamond Coach. So what I want you guys to understand that you can easily get stuck in addition in life. You think it's all on you. You can think, I've got to work on myself. I've got to do better. I've got to be more. I've got to do this training. I need to do this personal development. I need to do this workout. But once you realize that you, being you, living your life the way God intended, living out your calling, being unabashedly and unapologetically real about your struggles and your journey allows God to do multiplication. And multiplication is how you build success in anything. In ministry, in life, in your Beachbody business, in marriage, anything. Your finances. Let God get his hands in it. And where you're stumbling along with addition and sometimes subtraction, when you take a step back, when he can get in there and start doing multiplication, then you'll be sitting where I am, looking at your Beachbody business going, we're elite and 5-star, we're 6-star qualifying today, yesterday. How did this happen? You have to step back and get out of the way. And you have to stop trying to do addition and start letting God do multiplication. All right, the next thing that I want to share with you guys is the concept of don't stop on 6. All right, so who knows the story of the Battle of Jericho? All right, quick synopsis. Who can give it? Battle of
God told
Jericho.
them to take the city, and he told them to march around 7 times and then blow the trumpets.
Yeah.
And the walls would crash.
He told the leader that, right?
Right.
Joshua.
Yes.
He told Joshua, march around the city of Jericho 7 times, and on the 7th day, on the 7th time around the city, the walls are going to fall. But Joshua never told them. He didn't tell the soldiers, and I didn't realize that detail until recently. He didn't tell his men how many times they had to walk around. So his men, I mean, you can imagine, okay, so they walk around the wall, they go home to their wives, and they're like, oh, manly man, you're a soldier, you got this armor, what'd you do? Who'd you kill today? What battle did you win? And they're like, walked around a wall. You know, and then day 2, the same thing, you know, he walks around the wall, and they're like, Joshua, what is up? You know, why are we walking around this wall? They go home to their wife, and you can imagine she's like, baby, who'd you kill today? You got this armor on, where's the blood? I want to see the battle scars. Maybe we walked around a wall, you know? We just, you know, we're scoping things out, trying to get a feel for the enemy here, trying to see what's going on. And 3rd day, 4th day goes by, and you can imagine those men in the army are starting to question, like, are we ever going to take the city? Is this wall ever going to fall? And I think so many times we get caught up in that. This business is so hard. If you don't see results like that, it's easy to go, this wall ain't falling. I got to go the safe route. Give me the benefits and the salary and the weekly paycheck and give me safety. Because you're walking around that wall and you don't know. But what if you're on 6? What if you're on 6? And you're walking around and you go around that wall that 6th time and you're like, you know what, I'm out. I'm out. You know, that can apply to your marriage, your finances, your business, whatever that thing is in your life where God is asking you to persist in faith. And, you know, faith is trusting what you can't see, right? So what if you're about to make that 7th trip around the wall and it's about to fall and you step back? What hope is there then? So as you're, you know, wherever you are, I don't know who this is falling on. I don't know. I know for me that I've been walking around several walls in my life the past few years. The first wall was cancer in my daughter and my husband. And I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if this child would be sitting here right now or if I was going to have to be okay with her or not. And I was walking around that wall. And I didn't know when the 7th time was. I didn't know. But you keep walking, you know? You have to keep walking. And just as we finished the 7th trip around that wall for her, then we had to start over with Darren. And walking around that wall again. And it's been that, it's been finances, it's been relationships, It's been family. It's been multitudes of things. But what I have learned in my business is that you don't stop on 6. You don't stop on 6. The worst thing you can do is stop walking, because the wall's gonna fall. Whatever your wall is, it's gonna fall. The third thing that's really been on my heart is that we have one body and we have one life, and there are no more. That's it. And people need to know what we stand for. We're a team that is faith-based, family-based, and fitness-based. And people out there need that message of hope, that there's one body and one life. Waiting, making excuses, saying that the obstacle in the path is bigger than someone else's and therefore you're dismissed from trying, is what people out there are dealing with, and it's what we're dealing with. And if we're to make any kind of difference out there at all, we need to understand that there's one body and one life. And that's all we're given. That's all we're given. This body that a lot of us work so hard on through these crazy workouts, even pregnant, are hard. They're incredibly hard, but why do we do it? Why do you do it, Katie?
For my children.
For your children. Absolutely. Why do you do it, Nicole? To be here. Yeah. Why do you do it, Jessica? To live. Why do you do it, Renee? Why do you work out every day? For your family. Notice it's not ever just about us. It's always about someone else. And that's the beauty of the company that we work for, you guys. It's never been about us. Never. You need to research Beachbody history. I'm not going to give it to you right now. But we were not created to be a multi-level marketing company. We were not created to be network marketing, ever. It was always about that someone else out there who needed help. Always. Have you ever sat and watched the clock turn from 11:59 p.m. to 12 a.m.? Like as a kid, did that ever fascinate you? That's what happened. You know, on New Year's Eve last night, were any of your kids fascinated? I could stay up till midnight, or did you trick them like we did and tell them when the ball dropped in New York at 11? It was really 12.
Well, we're really Eastern time, so
That's good for you.
There you go.
Yeah.
11:55.
If you've ever watched that transition happen, it's kind of nondescript, right? It's sort of anticlimactic.
Right?
And that's how transition is. You don't notice when something amazing is happening. Like you're literally going from one day to the next. In last night's case, from 1 year to the next. And all it means is that the dot disappears in the alarm clock. Dot there, dot gone. No big deal, right? Well, that's what I want us to understand about our lives and this business and relationships. Often it is something as nondescript as a dot being there 1 second and it's gone the next. You may not even notice it. You may not even appreciate it. And that's what I wish I could go back a year ago and tell myself at this team party a year ago is, don't celebrate that. There's a transition happening. There's something amazing going on. Don't miss it. Celebrate it. Look for the transition. Look for the progress. No matter how tiny and small it is, you could be moving from one phase of life to another and completely be ungrateful and just miss it if you don't notice the transition that's happening. So when you think about one body, one life, don't get so hung up on that big end result goal that you're after, like being free of credit card debt, or being able to bring your husband home from work, or being able to move to Montana, or have that 5th baby and be at home with her. You're so hung up on the end result that you forget to celebrate the fact that you have one body and one life, and every day you're doing something to balance it. Celebrate that. All right, the next thing, all this has to do with numbers. Like I said, numbers on the brain today. But 0 out the comfort and 1 up the calling. So think about that for a minute. How many times have you felt yourself, I'm a visual person, but I've often felt myself standing in between 2 extremes. What my parents think, the way I was raised, what my community thinks, who I thought I was on one side, like pulling. You gotta go over here. You gotta be this. You have to be that girl. You were raised this way. This is what people expect from you. You need to dress this way, look this way, talk this way, act this way, pursue these goals, right? And then there's this other side, like your dreams, like pulling you. You're made for more. You're unique. You have a purpose. There's a plan. There's something bigger than you, and it's that pull. And often you can stand there and you feel so like it's literally tug of war. And I've seen so many of you go through this. A lot of you, well, with fingers, but you take too many steps this way, and you start looking at your dreams and your goals, and you're like, later, get to that later. It'll be there later. I've got to do this right now because this is what's expected of me, and this is what's black and white, and I just can't right now. I got to do this because this is safe, and this is comfortable, and this is what we know, and this is what we were trained to be, and this is what we were told. And then there's that thing that's constantly nagging at you, right? It's like in the back of your head, here. And then I've seen others of you. I've watched Brandy last 2 years since she moved to Atlanta. She could have gone this way, and life tried to make her go that way, right? Life tried to make her go back to a place where she wasn't who God called her to be, and instead she kept fighting for that. She kept fighting for that, and she kept trying to take one more step because she believed so much in what she was called to do that she fought for that, and she fought against that. And I watched her, you watched her, and she fought her way back to being who she was created to be because she heard that still small voice telling her, you were made for more. You were made for more. And I can tell you, as we sat on the beach in the Dominican Republic at Punta Cana and we saw a fire burning, no, it's a private joke. Oh my gosh, crazy time. But, we just had time, just the two of us, just to totally chill, and believe me, we did. Drink way too many BBCs and margaritas. And, we sat there and shared our hearts with each other, and I still hear that in her, the pull for this, and her calling for that. And we struggle with that together. Every single week we talk on the phone and we talk about it together. And the one thing I want us to focus on this coming year is zero out the comfort. Like, just get rid of it. Whatever people in your life, whatever things in your life are trying to pull you back to that safety zone, it's because you scared the crap out of the people who are living in the box. And when you step out of the box and you start doing something big, you know what it does? It reminds them that they're in the box. And that scares them. But you owe it to them to blaze a new trail towards your calling, because that's where God does multiplication. And you owe it to the Lord who gave you one body and one life to do what he made you to do, regardless of what other limited capacity humans say. And that's the truth. You got to zero out the comfort, and whatever your calling is, one up it. Don't just settle for the dream you think you have, one up it. If you think you're supposed to be financially free, one up it and commit to donating a certain dollar amount to a charity that's close to your heart. Don't just be debt free, be generous. One up the calling. So I want to ask all of you what your number is. And this can be applicable to whatever you feel called to change in your life this year, whatever thing God has placed on your heart. For me, it's to be consistent with my tithe and to not just tithe, but give an offering. God has blessed us abundantly very recently. Just to share with you a few of the things that we're going to be able to do this year is to pay cash for Camden's braces, which we couldn't even finish River's orthodontic treatment because we couldn't. So I'm going to pay cash for my second son's braces, and he's going to finish treatment. That's huge for me. It's huge for me. I'm about to buy a car that I will have to make payments on this year, but by the end of the year, I'll pay it off. And I'm going to be able to do that. I've committed to not just giving 10% of a tithe every single week, but I'm going to give 20% of every bonus I receive from Beachbody, because I wouldn't have that if God had not allowed me to be here in multiplication with him. And he deserves more. Those are some things that are on my heart, and they may not be yours. But you know what your number is. So whether your number is to hit Success Club 10 every single month because you want to make a difference to other people and you want to make a difference in your family's future, in your family's finances, then that may be your number. If your number is to bring on 5 new coaches to your team every single month because you want to grow something that means something, then that's your number. Maybe your number is 1, and it's to make yourself stand firm in your calling and not go back to the comfortable. So I want each one of you, you don't have to say anything to anybody, but you know what it is. Claim your number. Claim your number. And let it drive everything that you do for the coming year, and don't you dare relegate it to a place less than what it deserves. Because I can tell you that 5 years ago this month, I was almost 50 pounds overweight. I was coming out of 2 cancer diagnoses and people that I love. I was in the middle of extreme financial despair. My husband has always worked his tail off for our family, always. From the day that we were together, we got together very, very young, got pregnant unexpectedly, very, very young. Everybody in the world doubted us, and he went to work, and he has always worked his tail off. But when you can't go to work because your daughter's in the hospital, and you can't go to work because you're in the hospital, things get real, really fast. We almost lost his house. We almost lost our car. We couldn't keep the lights on. Sometimes we couldn't keep the water on or the gas on. Stuff was real. And 5 years ago today, I said, I can't live out of control anymore. I need control over something. And the only thing I could think of to control was my fitness and my weight. So I started working out like crazy. I went to boot camps at 5 a.m., didn't I? I went to Zumba at my church 2 nights a week. And for 6 months, I worked incredibly hard trying to do something. In those 6 months of time, I lost 10 pounds. That's pathetic. 6 months. Can you imagine? I was so frustrated. Like, what is all this for? I can't even control this. And then Shakeology came into my life. And it's just a stupid shake, right? It's just a shake. But it changed everything for me. In the next 4 weeks, I lost those same 10 pounds. It's something. Get some more than snap or snap. Something changed for me. Thank you. And from then on, from June of 2011 until today, my whole mission has been to find you and tell you that there's hope. And you may not have my story. You've got a different story. But what we're a part of is something so much more than ourselves. And I don't care how many times you've started and stopped and started and stopped, or dabbled and doubted, or if you're like Renee and you keep amazing Excel spreadsheets that we're all jealous of, and you've followed through like crazy, and you're still at the 11th hour on Wednesday night trying to secure Success Club, and you're like hanging on by a thread. It doesn't matter, because what you're doing matters, and you got one body and you have one life, right? So I just want all of you, I'm always super excited to get together with you guys, whether it's here, Super Sunday or Summit or coffee shop or wherever we get together, and if we meet the first time, at a bar, Rick's on the square and all I ever want you to walk away from me with is that whatever your struggles are, whatever your calling is, you can go above and beyond anything that you could ever ask or imagine when you just surrender to the fact that you got one chance. You know? One chance. I mean, that little baby wouldn't even be here right now if Jessica hadn't come to me. He literally would not be here, you guys. That's a life. Talk about one body, one life. That little man right there, what kind of blessing is he to your family? He brought you joy, didn't he? He brought joy back into your family. Oh, guys. I'm sorry I missed it. But seriously, when I think about the fact that going back to 2011, when I was new to all of this, don't you think I felt like an icky salesperson, like so many of you posted about the shake I was drinking? And if I hadn't done that, would he be sitting here right now? Because if I hadn't been posting all those obnoxious posts that made people roll their eyes at me, would Jessica have found me and said, help me lose weight? Would she and Josh have gotten on Shakeology and done what doctors said was impossible to conceive another child? But literally, doctors told them, no, there's no chance. There's no hope. There's no chance. And here he sits, healthy and big a boy as can be. You know, so think about it. Go back home and think about your life and understand that that post that you make that you feel cheesy about, that you're not sure about, or you know, this company that you haven't even been to a Super Saturday, and you don't even understand what we're doing, you don't know what in the trend means, or you don't know what challenge group is, or you don't know what elite even means. Your journey matters to somebody. Your journey matters to somebody. So think about what your number is, commit to your number, and let that fuel you through this year. And I guarantee you, whatever goals that you set, if your actions align with those goals, you'll reach them. If you set a goal and your action doesn't align with it, you'll fall short, just like I've done for years. But you'll make progress, even if you fall short, you know. And you learn, and you pick yourself back up, and you keep going. Right? All right, so I don't want to ask you guys to get vulnerable, but I would love to hear just like, what is, in this vulnerable moment where I'm being super cheesy and like I have a notebook and like notes, and, you know, what is on your heart? Like, what are you going to achieve this year? What do you feel like is calling at you and pulling at you? Because if you say it out loud among people who will hold you accountable, your tight inner circle that keeps you safe, then it's more real and it's more achievable. So I would love for you guys to share boldly. My goal is for our team to hit 15-star diamond by next December, and the only reason I want to achieve that is because I see people when they cross that diamond threshold enter something amazing that they can't walk away from. And when they get there and they stay there, they never turn their backs on it because it's that something more they've longed for, and they can make a difference to other people, and I would help more people do that. So I would love to hear your goals.
I'll share. This year, it's funny because I feel like my 2015 was your 2014. I was very frustrated a few weeks ago because I set a goal of being 5-star diamond and elite for this year, and I didn't hit it. On Premier, it's crazy because I keep not even celebrating that because I feel like I didn't hit my goal. I did make Premier, and I'll go to leadership conference, and you're so right. It's so hard for me to go look at that and go, wow, that's amazing compared to where I was a year ago, because I feel like I failed my team in some ways because I was pushing with them. But in spite of that, even though it scares the crap out of me, my goal is to match Miranda's goal and hit 15-star. And I ordered this bracelet because when I kind of realized, and the deadline wasn't quite there, but it was almost there, where I kind of realized that elite isn't happening this year. I really almost grieved, because I had poured so much of my heart into trying to make that a reality, and I wanted it for our team so badly. And I had to make a choice to either stay focused on what didn't happen and what I was disappointed about and negative things, or shift my mindset and go, it's okay. I've learned so much and I've grown a lot. And so I'm going to set new goals, bigger goals, and run after them. So I started back with personal development immediately and realized that I needed to focus on what I want to see happen and not what didn't happen. So I ordered this wearable vision board, is what I call it. It's a Keep Collective bracelet, but it says live your dream, and it says 15-star with sparkles, so it's 15-star diamond 2016. And I wrestled for a really long time on whether to order 15-star diamond coach or put the numbers 2016 that puts a deadline on it and makes me more accountable. And I chose to go with the date because I believe that when you focus on what you want to happen And when you put it out there and when you speak it and when you share it with other people, that it's so much more likely to happen. And that every time you share it, it becomes more real in your own heart. And that means it's going to become more real in your life. And so that's my goal this year, is to help 12 more of my coaches hit diamond and beyond, not just diamond. I want them to hit diamond and then 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 5 star, and create the freedom in their lives that they desire and that they have expressed to me that they want. I've talked to a lot of my coaches. Katie, has a goal of being 3 star. Tamara has a goal of being 5 star. Lainey has a goal of being 5 star. I mean, Kelly has a goal of being 3 star. So that is my goal, is to do what I have to do to help my team get to where they want to be, because it matters to them and it matters to their family and it matters to me and to my family. And I'm going to run. I'm ready to run, and I'm ready for them to run with me.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. One of the things, like when Brady was talking about that, we met for hours Wednesday. Because when we meet, we cannot meet for hours. Our 30-minute phone calls on Wednesday morning turned into 2 hours. Right? One of the things that we talked about is how, with this business or with anything in life where you have big audacious goals that require a lot of faith, you have to run at a certain pace. Like, you have to, if you're in a marathon or even a 5K for that matter, you got to keep your pace, right? You got to set your pace. Have anybody ever run a race? Yeah, you run. Yeah. Even if you're just trying to finish Insanity Max 30, right? Or 21 Day Fix, like, you have to set your pace, and your pace is that workout every day according to that calendar. And even if your kids are like, Mom, do you have to work out today? You're like, yes, I do. And it's for you, so you can watch me follow through on what I said I was going to do. Think about a marathon. You sign up for that thing, and you've got to run at a certain pace. Even if there's other runners in there with you, you can't stop and turn around and go back again. Okay, come on. Now, left, right, left, right, let's go. You can't do that. You got to run your race. And what Brandy and I talked about is we've been so guilty of running our race, stopping, turning around, going backwards away from our goals, and trying to grab people who aren't ready to run yet. And like, come on, let's go. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to nurture you. I'm going to walk. You want to walk? You want to crawl? I'll crawl with you. If you want to booty scoot, we'll booty scoot. You can't do that. If your calling is to run, then freaking run, And whoever wants to run with you is going to run with you. And of course, you're going to constantly say, look, the view up here is amazing. Come on, let's go. Pick up the pace. Let's go. Run a little harder. Okay, you fell down. Check in with the checkpoint. Grab some water and come on. Your job is to constantly be ahead of the game, running at your pace, inspiring those that are behind you, and telling them, hey, you might want to stop at the checkpoint and grab some water at mile 3 because it's really tough after that. There's uphill. I've seen that part. I know it's going to be tough, and I'm going to tell you, here's what you need to do. But you can't slow down and stop and go back there to mile 3 and walk them through it. You've been there. You tell them what you learned. You got to keep running. You got to keep running. And that's what we've talked about as what we all have to do. So, anybody else have?
There's so many light bulbs. Just like,
Yeah.
It's stupid.
It's stupid. Stupid light bulb.
It's a good stupid. My goals right now are not nearly as audacious as where you guys are, but I'm very new in the race. And by new, I mean a year and a half in. And my goal right now is to pay for gymnastics for my daughter, who does gymnastics 27 hours a day in our living room until we threaten her to stop.
Yeah.
And then she still does it. We've had a tough year. A good year, but a tough year. We're ready. But I've lost a lot of my vision. And I needed Brady's team get together and yours. I had to get you back on track.
That's how we do this.
Big time.
We all need it.
But I love Miranda's been a big help for me as well. And we've had struggles with friendships. We've had struggles with blood family. With what we do. And I've just learned that you reminded us again tonight that, you know, you've got those two polars pulling on you. And I just know that we're going down the right path. And I need to continue focusing on that path and not looking behind me. And I know that what I'm doing is glorifying God and is honoring my family. And keep moving forward. Absolutely. And I wasn't planning to cry tonight, but you know.
It's inevitable.
It is. Shut up, Miranda.
If we all get together, somebody's gonna cry.
If Randy and Miranda are in the house, we're all gonna cry.
Yeah.
So,
I read a quote earlier today that addressed what you're saying. Faith is moving forward
yes.
when all you want to do is go back.
When you quit your job of 8 years of what you have wanted to do since you were in 6th grade, which is what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a teacher. And you come home to be with your kids and to be a health and fitness coach. Are you kidding me? Like, this is something I never thought I'd ever do or that I'd ever care about.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I can't wait to help more people. And I needed this.
That's why I feel like I need to share with you guys that the wider your circle gets, people you want to help, the more important it is to pull back in and have that tight.
And I would say we're going to have our own coaches at Summit this year.
Awesome.
Which is baffling to me. Because, you know, there are times that you don't feel like you deserve it. Yeah. But at the same time, we're going to have possibly 4 to 6, 7 coaches there of our own that we have brought on. Yeah. That is just like, are you serious? Like people that didn't roll their eyes and walk away and go, you're really, you know? Yeah. And so if 2 of them were sitting you know what? And, the 40-minute drive home, they'd be like, you cried so hard. By the way, like, I've seriously been good friends with these folks over here since maybe May, possibly June, and I feel like I've made these first.
That's what I was telling them earlier. I was like, I thought you guys had history.
No.
I thought there was history there because you're such good friends.
But seriously, they have been such a blessing to our family, our children. Yeah. Whenever I say Alan and Heather,
how did they come into your life?
Okay, Wes knows Alan first, like through church, and then Heather also works for the church as well.
Okay.
But
this is Grace in Lindale.
Yes, this is Grace Community Church in Lindale, but we also have 3 campuses, so they work for the Grace and Tyler.
Okay.
And I was so nervous the first time we met. I know, I didn't tell all that. But when we met at Jules in Tyler.
Hello. Shout out for Jules. Not there.
And we met at Jules and Tyler for the first time, like May or June of this last year. I was so nervous. Like, my palms were sweating. Like, what if they don't like me? Oh my gosh, I'm going to die. And then it's literally been like effortless. We probably got, what, 4 nights this week? They live 40 minutes away from us. And so it's like stuff like this, that they bring people into our lives who understand us, who get us, who have a strong faith in God, who love our children like we do. I mean, we tell our kids that Alan and Heather are coming over and they get excited. I mean, that doesn't happen with anybody, especially with Lila. She's very picky. And so it's just, I anyways, I love y'all.
So put a number on it. What's your number? Pay for gymnastics. What's that?
I don't even know.
Gymnastics is $55 a month.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And East Texas Twisters and Mineola is where we're looking to go.
So you want to cover your own costs for 2 bags of Shakeology a month, your Energize, your whatever you're getting.
Yeah. Luckily, we're paying for our Shakeology right now.
Yeah.
Thank God for that.
Okay.
I need to lessen the stress on this man who's working his booty off. He's worked 3 jobs over the last 2 months to pay for Christmas for us and to make me not stress about Christmas because I haven't been working. And I plan to get my diamond back, a stupid diamond I've lost since March. I haven't been diamond since March.
Do you know I did that for 18 months?
I got my diamond
Did the diamond take
for
the
1
diamond?
week to qualify for the
Emeralds.
retreat.
Diamond?
Well, I'm a diamond and I'm an emerald.
18 months.
Like the whole like flatline, you know. And so I am gonna get my diamond back. I'm so close. It's stupid.
You are so close.
Like Brady knows. It's literally like
Trust
one
me,
person.
I know.
And you're just like, I'll get it back, you know. And so but I want to be walking on that field at Summit 3-star, and I will be.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna
You know,
walk with
that's
you.
3
So
stars.
arm in arm.
3 stars can not
We'll
allow
walk
you
with
just to
Kelly
pay
and-
for gymnastics,
Yes.
but it will allow you to be replacing your teaching income.
Yes.
I
And we
understand.
need that so much.
Wes is like, praise the Lord!
Holla.
Hallelujah, Amen!
Holla, holla.
That's our number!
So,
3 stars.
3-star is my minimum.
We've got one right there.
Till
There's one
I know.
right there.
And once
That's
I hit
star.
diamond,
Coaches away from 1 star right now.
yes.
6 coaches. Between the two of
I
them.
know it's gonna happen.
You
I
just-
know it is.
Yes, absolutely.
And I just needed to be reminded, as we all do, and recharged and re-energized, and to remind ourselves that what we're doing is good.
You know, the cool thing that I think about, like, as you're talking, is that if you think about, you know, the way that God changes a caterpillar into a butterfly, you can't skip the cocoon step. You can't skip it. And, you know, you've been in the cocoon phase, and don't hate yourself for it. Don't feel like you failed. You've been changing into something amazing. And now is your time.
I'm gonna be the most awesome butterfly.
Absolutely. Exactly. I mean, seriously, you
I mean,
can't.
the humbly.
It's a
most
journey.
humble way.
It's a journey. I mean,
But-
yeah, we hear these stories about these coaches that sign up, and on day one, they like 52 months later, they've got successful 10 for 52
I'm
months.
like, shut your face. I don't want to hear it.
Gazillion star diamond and all
I don't
this
want to
stuff.
hear
It's
that.
not my journey.
I want to
That's
hear
not my
this
story.
person, like you said, that keeps going back. Like, come on. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Okay, come on.
Yeah.
And Brady, I mean, literally, we pushed her off for like, what, a year and a half?
You mean before you signed up?
Yeah, like, I didn't even know who you were.
2
I didn't know
years.
you from Adam.
She deserved that because she told me no for a year.
Yeah. Like, Wes, we'd be laying in bed at 11 o'clock at night, and ding! I got a message from Brandy. I was like, who the crap is Brandy? And why is she
You're like,
messaging
what?
you? Like, how do you know
He did reach out to me first.
Okay, yeah, but still, like, who the crap is Brandy?
That's awesome.
You know, and then I got to know Brandy. And then I got to love Brandy. And then I got to love Miranda. And
And then we figured out we like playing beer.
yes! And every time I drink a Dos Equis,
And I have
it reminds me of
mustaches.
my honeymoon and Miranda. And I've got mustaches to match. Thank you, Ellen and Heather. And they full circle.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah.
so
We love
I
dashes.
just, had it not been for Beachbody, Brandy, Miranda, Alan, Heather, Esther, Renee,
Yeah. Yeah.
all of y'all, we would not be sitting in this room with you.
Exactly.
Charles Trammell.
Charles is like,
With a
hello.
cherry on top next to Darren. I mean,
So everybody's
Let's throw right there.
I just have to say, and it's just y'all friendship and leadership and mentorship and the harsh things that we don't want to hear, and yet and then the cushy things that we need to hear but we don't deserve. You know,
Yeah.
all of that rolled up into one with a bow on top is why I'm here. So
I'm gonna do it next.
Might not
Thank
be
y'all.
over.
thank y'all so much. I need everything.
Absolutely. That's the power, you know, that's the beauty of our team and what we do because, you know, Brandy and I are both at the same heart. Like, we're encouragers.
Yeah, you are.
We want to be servant leaders. We don't do this for selfish reasons because if we wanted to be selfish and pull in the same amount of money, I mean, I could be teaching college classes somewhere and make this money. I could. But that didn't bring me fulfillment. And that didn't allow me to be home with my handstand doing daughter. You know, who obviously needs to hook up with your gymnastics.
Right.
What I was gonna say is that I want you guys to understand what we have here because I don't have this. I didn't have a coach shouting me out when I hit 5-star. I had some girl from some random team in another downline who was like, "Hey, this is my friend. She hit this goal." I didn't hear from my coach or her coach about what we've done.
She didn't say anything to you?
Not a word. Not a word.
Well, thank God that it was you blazing this trail and not me. Because I do need the Brandies and the Mirandas going,
just know that the place that we come from, because Brandy I've never felt like she was under me. Like, we've always been in this together from the get-go. She had so much more knowledge than I did about nutrition and fitness, and I brought her on because I just thought she'd be perfect. We've always done this hand in hand. We were talking about the other day how our very first training we ever led with our uplines, she and I ring-rodded the whole thing and ran the whole entire thing together. We didn't know what the heck we were doing. We were like, there's this training, it's going to be accelerate, and we're going to do this thing. We're going to put the pedal to the metal. We're going to do like that. We're all going to be 15-star by the end of these 30 days.
That was in 2012 or 2013.
Yeah, 2012. Yeah, anyway, that was funny. All right, who else has goals, numbers? Yeah, Jessica. You're getting all the chatty girls first.
I know, like, I talk a lot, so you can tell me to shut up whenever you want to. My first goal doesn't have a number. I can't put a number on it because it's here.
Yeah.
I want to be able to look my kids in the eyes and tell them that I can do that. And I can be there. And no ifs, ands, or buts, I can do it. I'm tired of looking them in the eyes and telling them that I can't. I want to bring wherever he is. I want to bring him back home. Yeah. This coming year, I know that in the group post I put 8, but I want to at least like minimum elite next year. And I'm super close, to being 1-star like you. And I got diamond in July of 2014, and I lost it. Well, no, I lost it. I threw it away. I quit working the business when I was pregnant. No excuse. I just didn't.
Nicole's not going to do that.
Huh?
She's not
going to quit. She's pregnant.
Yeah.
She ain't going to quit.
And I went, all the way back down to Emerald for a really, really, really long time. And then after that, I went down to coach. And Miranda invited me to the diamond retreat just because I was one of her diamonds, like lifetime, right?
Right.
And I had made it back up to Emerald, so I was still Emerald at that point whenever the retreat was. And she invited me, and there was just something about being there and, I met you and, just having that like team bonding. I was postpartum, like not even, like barely 3 months, postpartum, and I was really overweight still. And
You were not.
But you look
Amazing.
beautiful.
You looked in
Oh my
those pictures you were
gosh.
exactly. In those pictures that y'all took, you were 3 months.
Yes, she looked fantastic.
I love
I didn't even know you just had a baby.
That's awesome.
And I don't know, I think Jennifer Allen kind of smacked it a little bit in the bathroom. Yeah, she kind of like put it in gear for me. She has a tendency to do that, but that's another thing that I love about the team is that like we're also dynamic in that, you can like stay focused on this one thing over here, and somebody else is like, but what about this? Like, look at it like this, and I'm like, crap! Why didn't somebody just tell me that earlier? And she did that for me, and she's like, if you want to be diamond, then just go be it. And I got it. Seriously, that's all she said to me. And it was before I enrolled into that Diamond Bingo group with Dennis and Julie Fowler.
Oh wow, that was right after.
I met it before the 3
Before we
weeks.
hardly got started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was starting over.
Right.
Didn't include the coaches that I already had. I had to build, 12? I had to build
Yeah,
12
you filled that whole bingo board out.
Yes,
Since we started
Yes.
that group.
I did.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I need to enter tap that person every single day to be what I want to be.
But what was it? Because what really struck me about you was the shift in your mindset.
It was, well, first of all, it was a 10X rule. It was all about personal development.
You
This
can
girl,
be yourself.
like took a dive into the personal development was cool, and she went like
You guys
20
like.
feet deep. and stayed
I was
under.
the
Like-
smoker negative person. Came home from work and bragged at my family all the time. Yelled at my kids day in and day out. I know I still yell.
Just looks like I did to that.
Was miserable. I didn't want to go to work, but I couldn't leave work. You know, I was always there. I wasn't happy. I wanted to have another baby. You know, and I was on like 10 different medications, and it was just miserable. You know, and you know, I mean, I wasn't expecting to have Jet. He was a surprise. You know, but you know, now we have him. I quit my job. I didn't have income to support it, but I quit it because it was either quit my job or have Jet because they weren't gonna work with me. And it's like she said, one body, one life. He wouldn't be here had I not resigned. Is that paycheck worth him? Not to me. And I want to be able to look at my kids in the eyes right now. I don't want to wait till she's 18 and be like, yes, go here. And it's not about material things, but it's about the experience and about being with them. I don't want to be back there in my office working 4 to 5 hours a night. They see it. But I have to right now. That's what I have to do to make that goal. And but back in April, it was like at the end of March, April, what you were talking about. Like my butt was going to that party. And at Summit, I was going to that party at Summit where you had to like make 25 points. And I remember going to my first Super Saturday since having Jet in Conway, Arkansas, and there was like 7 people there. I know that's weird because like we're used to going to it was weird for me, my first one. And I'm watching the video of I don't know how you say her name, is it Tulin? Yeah, Tulin. Talk, and she was talking about like you know her team and everything, and then they were talking about what you had to get to go to the party, and I was like, oh my gosh, like 10 in both months and 25 points like combined. I wrote it down on my notes. It wasn't until I went, you know, well no, I'd already gone to your thing, but I was in that group with the diamond training, and I was like, you know what? If I want to go to that party, I can be there if I want to. And so I just had my phone. I wore a belt. Wore my little like phone belt on my pants over here, and I walked around with that thing, and I had Grant Cardone on my ears all the time, cooking, cleaning, all evening. Josh took off work for like 2 months straight and was home straight, and you know took care of the kids. And I just listened to personal development and you know took notes, and I was messaging people just all the time. And I mean, that's what I did, you know, to hit that goal, and I met it. And
didn't you end up with like 27 points?
Yeah, I did. I had like 27 points.
You're so awesome. Thanks.
But
I'll drink for you.
I now
Cheers, girls.
I now see from actually finding coaches that want to build the business, which I didn't have before. I mean, I have Andrew, but he's not coachable.
But you have business builders.
Right. And that's what I'm saying is that when you have coaches that just sign as discount coaches and like you post like training stuff and you put them in, there's no response. It's really, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, yes. Yes. And you're just like, gosh, like, because you can't pull somebody. I mean, obviously you can't push somebody. They have to be led.
Right.
And from finding, I've got like maybe 4 business builders so far. And I've got 2 of them that are emerald. One of them is super close to diamond. And whenever I talk to them on the phone and see them in person and talk to them about their goals, like when I leave those conversations, it makes me cry.
Absolutely. That's what
And-
it's about, right there.
I want to do it for them.
That's what she's
I want to do it so that Brittany's husband doesn't have to be gone traveling and doing PR and promoting bands all the time, and can be home with her 3 kids, and that she can find a cure for cancer and autism. And I want to do it for Liz, whose husband is fixing to go into basic training, and doesn't have to be gone all the time. I know what that's like.
So what's your number for this year? Like, what do you? I know you said 8-star, but more personal than that. Like, what?
My number is that. I don't have a number for that.
The cool thing, like, my kids went through the first 4 years of my business with like, oh, you're doing Beachbody, Mom's always on her phone. Mom's on her computer, like, she's doing Beachbody things so embarrassing, especially my boys because they're older. And this year, like, I shared on Facebook, I probably saw it, that when River wanted to go to the state fair with his class from school, they went to a field trip thing with the state fair. It's expensive because, like, they're telling us we need like $80 to $100 to go and like ride the rides and eat the food and do it. And I was like, all right, really? I said, yeah, here's my card, go to the bank, get the cash, go have fun. And he's like, for real? I'm like, really? And I was like, yeah, it's your senior year. We can totally swing that right now. It's okay. And he came back at the end of the day. He texted me from the bus riding home, and he was like, well, thank you for everything you've done, even when we made fun of you and we doubted you. Thank you for the hard work that you put in, because I know I've watched you, I've seen it.
And he came back with money to spare,
He
didn't
did. He came home with money.
From the state fair?
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, he did. Like 50 cents.
I'm not gonna. I don't want y'all to like walk away for somebody that I've never met me before. I think that I'm all about money, because that's not what it's about.
No.
But
Doesn't sound like it at all.
because my commission, I'm gonna say that in a vague way, because commission community really is when people call me on the phone, or like the other day, and I didn't share this for this person's privacy, but I've been working with a person privately, can't afford a Beachbody program, can't afford Shakeology, just basically being her cheerleader through Facebook Messenger. Did you find out she was pregnant on Christmas?
Oh.
And she has polycystic ovarian syndrome. And she's super excited, but for somebody to send me that message, she gets to have
Her baby jet.
like, I mean, not him, but she gets to have that. And to have that, there's no, can't put a price on that. And
so
she
your
told
number
me,
is to do that with your family and more people than ever before. That's awesome. Who else has a number?
I would just like to get back to being, being a leader like I wanted to do and was doing. And I'd just like to hit diamond right now, honestly.
You're so close.
I know. But I've just allowed a lot of negativity and just self-doubt and things like that, just because I'm about to turn 37, which is young. It's not old. I'm not saying it's old. I'm just saying that I'm just saying.
Face it, Wes. Man,
Well, no,
ancient.
I'm just saying I'm not.
You got 3
come on,
years.
Derek's 40.
Yeah, Derek's turning 40 on Sunday.
All I'm saying is that I'm not where I wanted to be. I'm not where I thought I would be at this age. I didn't think I'd be, 8 years into, almost 9 years into a marriage with 2 kids and still just struggling, you know, just don't want to be here. It sucks. So.
It does suck. It does. And the more your situation sucks, the more motivating it is to get out of it. Like, you know.
Yeah.
I think so many times in the Bible Belt we hear this message of suffering servant and this poverty mindset. You've got to suffer for the Lord, suffer like Christ, and we can get caught up in that. But God didn't create us to have this one shot at life to be just living, barely getting by. I mean, just look at the sunrise every morning. He goes all out for us, and I think we sell ourselves short so many times. No, I have. Sell ourselves short of what he has in store for us. You know, it's a story about the little girl that clings to the plastic pearl necklace that her daddy's trying to give her the real one. I picture that every day when I feel myself settling for less than what I deserve. God, what do you have in store for me today? What am I supposed to be going after? What am I settling for? And the world tells us benefits, weekly paycheck. You know, this just survive, just get by, just pay your bills. That's good enough. You know, but it's not when at the end of the day you're worn out and you don't have anything left to give to those kids that you're fighting so hard to provide for. And you're drained. That's no life.
Getting hit in the mouth by psychotic patients in the ER.
Oh, and then there's that.
Yeah,
You work at
weeks ago.
I work in the ER some too.
He's been checking and working other jobs and other things.
Well, I just want to say that I hope you saw the other night how much our team has missed your presence.
Oh gosh.
Both of you.
I think that was probably the most
Oh, my
humbling
goodness.
experience I've ever had.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I was
Why?
this close to messaging you, like before Christmas, but then I was like, well, no, maybe I shouldn't because it's like right before Christmas, and she's probably busy because she has 2 kids and she's home with them and she's probably like going crazy. And,
Oh, I probably was. But
and I was like, I'm gonna message her because like I haven't seen her post as much, and
I think
I
that
love
was
you.
the most humbling experience. I'm crying.
I think I even asked Miranda where you guys
Uh,
That's why.
We had like
What
a little
happened to
powwow
you?
time
I did
at
message
the end of,
Did you?
of Brandy's of our Team Living Water get together.
Yeah.
And
You do, don't you?
more people kept speaking up saying, hey, we haven't noticed Wes and Katie, and I didn't know that people thought that much of
Are you
us.
kidding me? I told
You-
Brandy like a few months ago, I was like, I don't even see Wes in my newsfeed. Like
Yeah.
I used to, like every day.
Yeah.
and your videos, your morning in your car, you need to do that again. You need to do that
I think
again.
that was the most
Okay?
humbling thing I've ever
Your
experienced.
videos were awesome, and even if
guys are-
somebody
you guys
watched them
are
and never
nice.
commented,
You
at least
matter,
you're
even
honest.
to us.
Yeah.
Like you
You
matter.
know? And so when people were saying, we didn't see y'all and we looked for y'all as leaders, I was like,
Who
what?
Who what?
Us? Like, I don't, you don't think of yourself as that, and so,
You're famous.
I mean, what can I say? We're amazing. And, okay. But, it really helped recharge, yet humble me at the same time. I still can't get over
That's
that.
why it's
that
so
people were
important.
actually wondering where we were.
That's why it's so important that we get together.
Yes.
It's so important. We don't I invite Tom Blue in the Face to Super Saturday and Super Sunday stuff and Summit and these parties and you don't understand until you plug in and you show up the power just because there's so many haters out there and so many doubters and so many things dragging you away from what you feel called to that when you can get back to people that are like-minded that support you and cheer you on
It's life-giving.
it is.
And seriously, message me anytime.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm not good with words, and sometimes they just kind of come out and they sound blunt.
Yeah, with Jennifer.
Yeah, no, not me, right? Sometimes the red.
Message me.
Sometimes the red in me
I'll
really
get
comes
that.
out.
Also grab me nuts.
So I didn't know how to word it right because I'll message Miranda a lot, and I'm like, okay, this is what somebody said. I don't know how to say it without sounding critical or the wrong way because like I can so say things the wrong way a lot. And she'll tell me, like, I was like, why does my brain not think like that?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Somebody tell me why.
And in a world that gets offended by everything,
Yes.
you need to be like
Let's
that.
go there.
You have to
Very
be.
true.
Amen.
You need to. I don't
Amen.
sugarcoat anything because people need to learn something.
You know,
Yeah, 5 kids, don't
I'm
tell
learning to not step
What'd
on
you say?
some eggshells.
Just 5 kids, shouldn't have time.
Exactly.
I really don't have time. to
Ironically,
sugarcoat it.
getting more blunt, like you guys, telling the truth and being open to just saying what I really think has helped me.
I'm getting there.
I know, I'm like, screw you, Miranda. You're right. Screw you. But I'll get over it, girl.
I'll just take some coaching from my sister.
I know, right?
Melissa's the real deal. I miss her tonight.
I know.
I'm telling her her butt should have been here.
She's babysitting.
That's my girl.
I know, right?
I didn't see it.
That's my girl.
Girl right there.
She really is his girl.
No, like seriously, you have to say that.
She's
I'm the only one that
two thieves in a pod, that's for sure.
Can I say something?
I would
Yeah, I
love
mean,
to
a couple
too.
of you at the house today probably already heard this, but like, really, there's 2 things that I want to bring up. One is when we moved to Atlanta, Brandy, we were 8 months pregnant already. We probably already told this story, but yeah, Brandy came down with postpartum depression, which was Brandy's a very loving, happy, caring person. So, I mean, basically, she didn't get out of bed for like 4 months, and she did take care of the baby, which is incredible to me. I mean, she didn't want to live practically. It's not that it was, but yeah, she still took care of her child, which is amazing. But you know, my love was there. But you know, Beachbody, this team, really helped her pull out of that. With God's love, helped her pull out of that terrible season. So it's not just about money and downlines and get free to get free, whatever. The team helped her. And
Amen.
it really was her support, her real support system. Because this group here is more than business. It's about passion, love,
Absolutely.
and purpose. And you know, the second thing is you just got to be consistent. I said this at our event, is that you've been in this for 3 years, 3.5 years. April of this year, I finally said, "Man, I'm fat." I'm so fat.
Last year, 2016.
No, yeah, it's New Year. Pretty
Oh,
soon.
damn.
I said, "Yeah, man, I'm fat."
That's
There's no reason. I used
You
to be very
weren't
fit.
bad.
Oh,
Oh, we
Little
found
bit.
some other pictures that we haven't
hey,
shared
be
yet.
nice. Yeah, the before pictures.
The
Wow.
before, oh, that's a
We
good
were
one.
all in
The
denial.
before
We were all in denial.
Ah.
But the before pictures, I was ripped, really. But no, I was fat. But so she was in Beachbody for 3 years, doing all the workouts, eating right. And then finally, 2.5 years in, I go, yeah, it's time for me to get shit. She deserves this. My family deserves this. It'll help my career. It'll help my health, obviously. And so if your own husband takes 2.5 years to get committed and flip the switch, you know, imagine all the other people you're trying to
Absolutely.
preach to and witness to. Preach is the wrong word, witness to. So just stay consistent.
But do you think that the reason why it took you so long is because you thought that the workouts were girly, or that you could go to a gym, you could get better results going to a gym? Because, you know, guys are like, my husband, he's like, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm like, no, you're going to do hammer and chisel, which I'm the boss in the house. So he's going to do hammer and chisel. So, but like, he's like, no, I'm going to the gym. And I'm like, no, I'm
Just tell
canceling
me
the gym
what I-
membership. But like, it's like he doesn't want to do it because it's just like, well, I just don't see how that works. I can go to the gym and get better results.
Now, let me.
So is it that?
let me
or
insert
what?
She asked me a question, but you get
Well, well, I just want to. This is a point
I'm
to
the
being a
boss.
coach too.
Dream.
He had wanted to do different things before. He has really awful problems with his knees. He's already had a major surgery on one of them. It didn't work, so we're not going to have it on the other one. So he's never been able to do T25, Insanity, Max 30. Can't squat, can't lunge.
Nothing high impact at all.
He can't even squat or lunge slowly. I mean, it's that bad. So that was one of the biggest things. So as a coach, I had this epiphany moment when he was away at one of his Cornell on-campus sessions, and I went, I don't know what's at Heartbeats for him. And so while he was gone, I ordered it. And he doesn't do leg day. He never did leg day. He did all the other ones. And to me, it was like stupid. Because I'm a
There's
coach.
people out there that have.
And because I haven't done diabetes, so I don't know much about it. I haven't thought about it for him. But that was his program. I mean, he took that and he started doing it at home. He got fantastic results. Now he takes those workouts and he does them at the gym. But he does the same workouts. That was his program.
What weights did you start with body juice?
He has
The 3 pound.
Okay.
I used
What
to-
did you go
I
left
used to- I used to-
Probably. And I guess I'm the only.
Sorry about where I'm at now.
Well, he's lost 52 pounds. Let's just
Yeah,
say that.
Exactly.
I have
Pictures
reached
are
out
like.
to Miranda. I didn't.
Brandy,
I never saw. I mean, we're related, and so like that's why we were friends on Facebook. I never
That's the only
really
reason.
like prior to me joining. I never really saw her post about Shakeology, but I remember her posting like motivational quotes and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if that's so true, like. I was like, what? I mean, yeah, it was just like weird, and I messaged her before I had my hip surgery, and I was like, I want to lose weight and like quit doing this, and I said, but I'm having hip surgery in October, and she's like, no, she's like, you can't, like, no, just wait, let me know after your hip surgery. And so I had the hip surgery in October of 2012, and I got through physical therapy and all done like at the middle of April of 2013, and I had put on like, I was really unhealthy before that, so I was just like thin, like skinny fat before that, but I had put on like probably like 50 to 60 pounds, and I was pushing 180, and I was just kind of lost, just kind of like living. I mean, not really living, but just kind of like going through the motions. And I always hear the coaches say, like, it was me and I can't get my spouse on board, but for me, it was opposite. For me, it was him. He started working out in May of 2013, and he's had 5 knee surgeries because he was a football player in college. And he was so big that all he could do was tread water. And so he went in the pool next door to his mom's house. Every day, I would come home from work, he'd be at the pool, and I'd be like, walk over there with my cigarette. And I'd be like, I need you to do this. He's like, I'm treading water. I'm like, why? Like, what are you doing? And then he would get out of the pool, and he would, like, do some push-ups and, like, some sit-ups, and I'm just like, whatever. I mean, I was, like, mad at him for doing it. I was. And he'd been doing it for like a month and a half, and he walked in the back door one day, and I like, like how you are, you just like had enough. I walked up to him like, what are you doing out there? Because I thought he was wasting his time. I mean, treading water, really, And I was like, why are you doing that? And he looked at me, and I'll never forget the moment. And he said, Jessica, I don't want to die. And that's when it hit me. And those were his words. And it hit me, and I was like, and I asked him, I was like, what do you mean? I said, why do you think you're going to die if you don't tread water? The bigger picture wasn't sinking in. And he said, because if I don't tread water, I can't get the weight off that I need to lose in order to exercise to get the weight off that I need to do, so that I don't have to take this medication, or that, my blood pressure's not high, or, I don't develop, other diseases. And I looked at him, and I didn't say this, but in my mind, I was like, well, crap, like, I don't want to die either. Like, does he think I'm going somewhere? And it was it was like that next day, I got home from work, and I went out there and I treaded water with him. I think it irritated him because I talked the whole time. And he was like, shut up. And I did that for about a month and a half. And then I was like, nah, this treading water stuff's not for me. And I messaged Miranda because I remembered her from Facebook, and I got C25. I didn't even know it came from Shakeology. And Josh was like, you're going to drink this every day? And I'm like, yeah. And the very first time I made it, I did like the directions that it mixed with water. It was awful. But I drank it anyway.
I had strawberry
awful.
water today.
It's like, the strawberry water is good, but this is vanilla, and your very first time. And
when you're used to eating paralysis,
yeah.
When you drink that, you're like,
and he was like, this is awful. And he's like, he has told me, because you're never going to drink this every day.
camera and like get a great like group picture. Is there a timer on it? You can be in it too? Okay.
But he's a converter now.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know, for me, like, I would have never messaged her had it not been for him saying that.
Jimmy said he's gonna, we have an agreement that we'll cut Max's hair if he finishes.
Miranda,
Has it started?
No, I did it this morning and, he's gonna do it, start tomorrow. Well,
yes.
Yeah.
well,
Seems like you have to.
I'm like, it's gonna
It makes you callous, you still try to scale it.
he doesn't do target. He doesn't do target.
She has a hard time.
I mean, I don't want to just go crazy.
My sister, she's
I feel like I choose something.
That's why
That makes two.
That's why I used to talk to her, so I have a number of ways.
Either is,
Yeah, she's got
his
she's
legs
got-
work out. Yeah, seriously. But
There you go.
Like, you want to babysit with some more.
Sean T. Party.
That's, you gotta give us some.
I'm not sure.
We have to go. I have to.
My wife
I
is
have to.
I just keep going to work till she
That's
makes it.
7.
Wes, wake up, dude.
Tired, dude.
Party just started.
I gotta be at work at 7 in the morning.
Yes, that's what we have to.
Gotta be cool, because Constable's watching.
What?
Constable's watching.
Whatever that is.
Yes, that they do.
So is it, are you just running for, it's for Wood County, not just Mineola, right?
Actually, just use the Mineola areas right now, but the sheriff's office, we've got the whole county. And 19 people under me, I'm like tired of all those.
Like, what are you talking about?
I'm not sure. Yeah, so I'd probably just do that area. Because I actually spend more time with the kids that way.
Yeah. I was just wondering, because I probably couldn't vote for you with the equipment. Anyway,
779 and south is where
Village right
Yeah. Is that down by Hawkins almost?
not quite over Hawkins, the mainly Mineola.
You're gonna make your walk
Miles
so
around the village,
with a bathroom.
up to Golden. Out to-
Yeah, the guy lives in Cantiga is from Alabama. Yeah, same as Jason. You know?
So, yeah.
You know Jason Lane?
I'll get that later.
Oh.
2, 3, 4. Let me see if I have 4. I
He's
don't have
my sister's.
Yeah.
Josh can just imagine it if he can.
Did they move
They
them
do like
again?
me. You have a selective memory, don't you? It's like, okay, yeah.
Well, if I don't talk to you, I'm sure not gonna remember this. I know we didn't talk.
Check you next time. You better remember me.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, did they move over here?
No, they didn't.
Where did they?
They're still in Arlington.
Oh,
Yeah, I do remember seeing him. I saw him. I remember seeing him. at the same-
They sold the house and they had to build something.
Were they freaking out when the tornado was coming? They're like, no, we're in a trailer, the tornado's
Yeah, they're
coming.
good. My niece was.
I watched the video of this guy that they were watching it come across Lake Ray Hubbard. And they're, did you see that? They're all drunk, they're all drinking. And all of a sudden, like, I can see the camera is pointing down, they're running. And they're knocking on their neighbors. Let me in. Just
I'm gonna look at it.
where they're videotaping the tornado across Lake Ray Hubbard. They're like, as that comes over here, we better find some place to go. And they're all drinking. And then they had to like run the second they got to the shelter. All you can hear is run, run, run. And they're like knocking on their neighbor's door, like, let us in.
I did 6 tornadoes in my life. 6. One of them was in Panama City, Florida. Wonderful weather, a tornado comes down the middle of the ocean,
That guy.
water spout. Yeah, you don't hang out with me.
Yeah,
I gotta be.
You
got some food? We will.
were trying to attack me and my kid.
Alright.
Yeah, we're all those young guys. Got one out. So, yeah, that's where I am.
Yeah.
They're gonna want to see
I
eyes
did too.
Coffee, I'm like,
Are you kind of worried about this with Harry?
Really
Because
not.
you, well, because I thought you said you can't. I thought they said you can't like question whether or not they're pregnant.
Well, you don't have to. You know, we've got guns right there.
You
Well, like,
can ask
I
them
need
for
to-
it, but there's
well,
not a penalty if
like,
they
I
don't
can
give
turn
it
it when these two are
And
on.
you go,
Just
well,
this
I'm not doing anything wrong, that's just.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it, because the
It
ones
turns
that
this
are,
on and this one.
it's just,
Yeah.
if you are, you know, sense to.
Yeah. I just worry about the ones who don't have sex.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm gonna get
Okay,
married.
so to prove how connected people are sometimes, I literally just got this message as I was here.
Oh my God.
Here's your problem.
Oh, Jennifer,
All
look,
right,
she's
you're
on
right.
the
Grab it
coaches.
up.
I just work at Target.
Oh, that's
Take a
hilarious.
picture.
And,
Get her done.
She
Get her
said,
marked.
she's a good
"Hi,
player.
I've seen you through Miranda as Mason's post. I
Funny.
just kept thinking you looked familiar and your name sounded familiar. Did you by any chance work at Target in Tyler ages ago?" Yes, I
You're
did.
funny.
A long time ago.
When we were still dating,
Wow.
I worked there for 3 months. That
You know,
was it.
that girl has been lurking around for
Again,
like
and
2
again,
years.
and
Like,
again.
I hear challenge
Like,
great. No,
man.
can't afford it. No, can't afford it. No,
You
can't
know,
afford it.
I
No,
don't
can't
like
afford it. No,
hearing
can't
I've
afford
got
it.
to watch
This
it.
time, over and over and over.
I remember
So she
working
signs
nights
her
because I was
coach.
expecting nights.
She has like 6 friends that she wants to get started.
Correct.
Now,
I gotta really come on. Carmen, she's like, I'm not chasing along. I won't be able to go to the gym.
We bought new furniture for 17 years the other day.
No.
20,
She's,
24 hours, I took a key or something. Carved it.
It's so relentless. We're on TV. We just spent more money than we should have ever spent.
you know, you said that.
Yes.
Yeah, freaking kid gets on it.
Oh, kidding?
Oh, it's
Oh,
I think I
Hello.
said that.
I literally worked there for
She's veterinarian.
Yeah.
for 3 months back
Good.
in
Well, those kids are not mine.
2000.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
2004.
Yeah,
I've been dating the rest for like months.
Yes, you heard. I told her. to put
Yeah,
those
it's
up.
fine.
I'm gonna keep on, so we'll do it.
Oh my God.
This one?
That is the
Yeah,
most
the one
racist message ever.
That's
Yeah.
fine. So should we face that way or
I want to
turn
say
this
this all
way and let the
people.
camera sit up there? Okay, we're gonna, here's
What
the
are we doing?
camera over here. We take a picture, group picture, people on.
I'm not gonna look like I'm eating somebody's head that's in the front. Last year,
I
I
know
was
you
and I was like,
did.
I don't have that for decades.
You real good.
Oh, I'm not.
I cannot be either. Let me back here.
Hush it, Nicole. Get up there.
Hey, anybody in the kitchen, come to the living room for pictures.
Come in, Heather.
Beba?
Yeah.
Oh,
And I feel like.
Are we doing?
No, we're waiting on people from the kitchen.
Hey, we should stand in here.
the writing is horrible.
Oh, we turn up that light. and then some people say-
Just close your mouth and smile.
I already want me to be. I don't know.
No more, no wider.
No wider.
No wider.
Yeah.
I'm a coach again.
Get in again.
I was a diamond coach and
You
got
have the
canceled.
wrong color shirt on. You have the wrong color shirt.
I'm going for 15 star
Charles
diamond
got
this year.
canceled too.
You and
Okay,
you
he's
and
an
you
emerald
and
again
you.
now.
15 star diamond. He's not real bad.
Now he's- he got canceled. I canceled it. Because Jennifer was
Hey, it's
under
all
him.
strategy.
Alan?
Don't worry about it.
So
And I had a diamond.
Jennifer
coach.
He
was
was
high
a
coach.
one-star.
I was gonna be two star and that
How
wasn't
did
gonna
you have
work.
a coach under you?
Hey, let's take a picture and then we'll talk about it.
I was
Okay.
gonna be two star.
Hey,
He's like,
Constable,
yeah.
Look,
He's like, I got this.
Constable's gotta go.
Big check just-
Constable's gotta go.
This hurts my legs, guys.
Gotta get some sleep.
All right, now smile, be cute.
Okay, so.
Oh man, I needed to blink.
I know. I'm so smiling. I was squatting, like my thighs are on fire right now.
my baby girl photo mom. Leave a photo mom.
Oh, nice.
Where? No.
Oh, that's really good. Oh, you're gonna talk orange. Take another one. We'll do one more. Y'all be, I'm not being right here.
Dude, you are so fun. I think.
I'm too tall.
Here, it's
Right.
right there.
Horn Heckle.
Thank you. Horn heckle.
Horn Heckle.
I really don't like
Facebook. I'm
Horn
Facebook page. You need to change it.
Born
Just
that-
the horn heckle.
Going to change that.
Better, because I know you.
All right. Now do like a funny face or like something real silly. Like,
Loving face.
just be super awesome.
Yeah.
I'm show my cleavage.
Duck face will work.
I love it.
Make a funny face.
Yeah, funny face, silly face.
That's a really long time.
Has anybody started the Masters or the Hammer System?
Monday.
Nobody's done it yet?
We just got a meal plan and like almost
FYI, every day is like that.
Awesome.
Every day,
So
like
we
that.
follow each other
Every
accountable.
day.
Every day.
How's that work out every day, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
tagging each other.
So Sunday I'm eating some wet burgers.
Well, it's like,
Flowers up there.
Are you not doing it? I don't have it.
It's good?
No, I don't.
Yay! Thank you, Esther.
My hip.
Y'all want to do some individual? Yeah, sure. If anybody wants pictures, great social media picture option right here.
Yes,
Super professional photographer, awesome camera.
Oh,
You don't want to.
Why can't people ask all the time?
Stay
Sure,
with
we
you.
got it.
Yeah, this, yeah,
At 10. Let's do it. Anytime.
As long as I'm available, I think.
saw your truck in town, bro.
Here, Taco.
Scraped the whole side of my bed.
Oh, wow.
Garage, but it was when I asked her to rush to the airport and bring my passport. I called you back in her public with Miranda, so I couldn't be very mad.
Put one in red.
No, it's on Miranda's fault. It's my fault. And Taryn's fault. I mean, really.
That's not yours.
So you ordered us a free register?
No,
She doesn't tell about it.
Oh.
Adios. See you. You too.
Nope. Yeah, whatever.
So next time.
I got mine.
You take-
Nice to meet you too. Yep, good seeing you. Sister Virgin. One day I'll get it. I just need to work out. Are you there?
I tried to tune that out.
I'm not leaving here.
I'll say your
Promise you.
You gotta go over to the home and you can see her.
I'm gonna have my wife drive. That's me.
You have good roads over there.
Hey, party's just getting good. It is.
You may have to kick him out.
What?
You're welcome to say
How would you like?
Hey,
Rico Suave.
Rico Suave. Wait.
Yeah.
You leaving?
I gotta work in town.
That can make it real
I had a baby.
open.
You see Libby's name right here? Makes me feel a lot better about her. Markings all over her house.
Hi.
It's crazy.
Nice to meet you.
It was so good to see you.
Yeah, she's there. You gotta go away.
It's not much more like I love watching her.
Start dancing with
It was the same thing last year. My dad's and I did when I called I miss mine stuff.
But yeah, I went over there and I told her I was going to when they actually find out what to do. I'm ready to get around. I told me to do somebody else. It was that.
Yeah. Things are every day. When you're open, I'll book them all.
Yeah. She's got that vibe.
Please tell her My mom's 4 hours. My coach is
Yeah, she had that.
from my first
Yeah.
time to second.
She went with me.
She's 99. And 1 year after my first son. I'm glad that you're going and that you're supporting.
I had two actually because I said, you know, I mean, I'm not really.
Oh gosh. Are you wearing polo red?
If it means to other kids first, I
Oh,
know
yeah.
that's really
You have red.
Randy, look.
He's 20 pounds lighter than she was.
Reference.
And
Yeah, I think we are.
so
I'll talk to Katie about
Okay, my fitness pal is like recycling. So you go on there, and you guys personally, you said no, this is my challenge pack. They can then log into the app and learn how to challenge group on a certain stuff. Get on to it. And they can log hours and like log their workouts. They will no, that's for the time. Rather than just depending on the mission. And also allows us to reach people that really active. Do that pretty much. It's going to I'm super excited about it. I don't know when it's really official. They went in Vegas to see the matches, but it's supposed to be the stage next season. Are you guys going to Super Saturday or Super Saturday?
Y'all did good.
Next weekend.
That's gonna work out. I can't really figure out. I mean, we'd love to.
No, they're on Saturday.
She'll text me.
Sometimes they have a
What year?
Miranda, I'm sorry. What are the Super Saturday and Sunday times?
Here?
Yeah.
There's just Sunday.
It's just
Or
a
work,
mix.
I'm posting Saturday, Autumn's gonna be at the Word Frisco, Dallas,
What time is it?
1 to 5.
Okay.
That's this.
Yeah,
On
I'm
the
so
10th.
out of the loop on
I'm
that.
the January. On the 10th, I'm like, yeah.
The last Super Sunday I went to.
Even if you can't be there on time, it's okay to come late.
Oh, yeah, it's like 3 o'clock.
You know, that's okay.
Or 4.
That's okay.
Like,
Well, I mean, or you make it for the workout.
Yeah.
The workout louder, I mean, that's workout. And then you can go eat after you eat our team, so you get some snacks. You just came to the workout and then to eat our team. I mean, the pictures alone of you and your family, 1,000 people, are calories, like, when you work out, and show them your 13. And I'm fine. If you work out, and if you can be there by 3, you would at least get out some of the announcements about what's coming up and like new products. Like
Yeah.
2.5 focus for the year, the theme, like they'll announce the theme, what we're focusing on. So,
I mean, and I bet you guys, because we're not, our Super Saturday is as big as y'all's, and we have samples of the new cafe latte.
yeah, we have cafe lattes
I'm
here.
sure I'll have that here.
Danielle, have you tried it?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go back.
I got to go. I'm old. I'm 37. I'm 30. I'm almost 40.
Well, this crazy guy's putting on some vacation.
I'll turn it very mild. Yes, even non-coffee.
These things come together for
For the next one, she goes. She will do that. She does like cartwheels and stuff. Inside the club.
Like seriously.
I did on handstands since like last year.
Yeah,
I did one the other day.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
See y'all.
Wes.
And I was like, I'm scared.
Yeah, y'all be very safe.
Bye, guys. Be safe going home.
Wes.
Let's do that.
I'm sure.
Be safe.
Bringing all the police.
I
You got time to do everything about this.
Wes?
You broke the glass, bro. Wes, you cracked it at the bottom left.
I did that already.
That wasn't.
Yes, sir.
No. Am I talking about?
I didn't know you
done good tonight.
Where's that seat?
I did good.
I would Mariah. Anytime you need to just call me. I would get right anyway.
Oh,
Hey, I'm over for you, bro. You know, hey, listen.
You got Hoover right here? I'll come get you wherever.
Oh, no, that's trouble.
Get me out of trouble.
You know what? Hey, Wes, you have to go. She's gonna leave.
I don't.
Did he think that
Go to
for
Saudi
Excel?
Arabia and get this stuff going. Get right
For
here.
Excel sounds like a luxury vehicle in their
Actually, that
process.
company is
Excel
based-
to Marquette was like 30 minutes away and it was $50.
Yeah, I can see that. There's a lot of healthcare positions people looking at.
Sis. That's the.
I took a class called Voice and Articulation in college. Before that, I was like, hey, y'all, man, what you doing? Gonna get my fix stuff over.
That's another
I
side.
cannot, for the life of me, I cannot
It's a
understand.
ritzy city. Atlanta.
Brandon, pull her in there, so stay forever.
Go out on the
We can drive you home.
Look,
We're going to Tyler.
We can drive you home.
I would love to. I would rather stay.
You have a night out.
Yes.
That's the most important question. I'm gonna travel with you. Hi guys. All right. You guys be safe.
On the diamond retreat?
Hey, girl.
Her name is Lily. Do you know her name?
Lily, I want you all day long.
Hey girl.
You're amazing.
And then Brian.
You're amazing, Lily.
You are. Oh, and I see. I'm
You're
sorry. I
amazing.
see your name. You know that my 5-year-old Kayla writes his name on everything.
Yes.
Our furniture, our walls, everything.
I'll have to work out for you.
Hey, you know the house saved their house?
You saw that. Here we go again.
Exactly.
What?
Today.
I didn't know what you said. I can't hear.
Do you have Dusty and Ryan?
The girls were eating up outside with a spoon in the microwave.
Do they
I caught it. I caught it.
Yeah.
Hey, oh, my girl.
Yay. Good job, babe.
Come here. Get over here, woman.
Get over here, woman.
Get over here. I'm gonna cross the room the whole night. My truck. I couldn't get over there. I'm gonna jump over her and land on your feet.
I don't think that's sitting on there.
There's plenty of room.
Battle of the
That's not
sexes.
one.
Are you really thinking?
She doesn't look it.
She does not at
Oh,
all.
wow.
How long? How far along?
21 days.
Tio, if we wore you out.
21 weeks.
I told her, my belly was bigger than that at 8 weeks with my third.
My belly was bigger than that week.
It was.
Yeah, I'm bigger than that now.
I didn't know. She told me she was having a girl. I was like 10 minutes later. I was like, wait a minute.
I know, you don't look pregnant at all.
She was cool though. She was like the coolest sober person here. She was cracking jokes. She was in the middle of it all. That's a big deal. You can hang with
To be sober and
hang with
because I had coffee. I wasn't technically sober.
You have one coffee a day. Is that what you do?
No, I drink a lot of coffee. Let's go in Sunday.
How do you know all them?
Whose son is that?
Huh?
How do you know all these things?
Take your phone. Hello? Hello?
This one?
Take your phone.
I don't hear.
I met Wes. He came to a super Saturday event with us, didn't he? Yeah.
Is that Wes's phone? Is that why he's calling it?
I think so.
I didn't see my phone. Did you see it?
It's Wes's.
Oh, no.
I
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I guess I missed something.
got Jimmy.
I'm trying to be professional.
Right. I did do a little bit, and I got this stuff all over the front of my shirt, hot sauce.
I can't see. I'm gonna drink like 5 glasses of coffee in the morning. You kick me out whenever you're ready.
Whatever, man. You're good.
Really nice to meet you.
I've got,
You're trying to get me out of here.
No, I'm not.
I've got a whole nother ensuite back there I can just take off to and watch
Whole
the
other
others.
ensuite.
No,
Come on.
I just sell all that stuff.
He used to have a.
Did you give him his phone?
Yeah.
They're coming around the corner.
Right now,
Oh,
I
Wes,
just
I'm
do
wearing
the-
Wes out, I think. I'm gonna wear him out.
What's it called?
You wore him out when he was in Atlanta, that's for sure.
Shit. Or you out too.
Yeah, that was
I can't hang with me.
a late night.
Call Uber early. Get him
Well, I
ready.
have a feeling that when me and Jimmy go to